Charles Oliveira was recently complaining that guys are saying they will take the fight against him October 11th since Fiziev is out, but when the UFC calls them, they turn down the fight. However, he also says that he does not want to fight Gamrot because Gamrot's style is very different to his original opponent in Fiziev. He also doesn't want to fight Manuel Torres because nobody knows who he is in Oliveira's opinion, and Oliveira says he is down to fight BSD or Moicano, but he says BSD and Moicano turn down the fight. Mateusz Gamrot says, I hear you're worried about my style. Even though you had a full training camp, I had none. I'm ready to step in the cage. 2 weeks left to prepare, and I'm already at ATT right here. No excuses. Let's do this, Charles Oliveira. In terms of head trauma, though, it might be a better fight for Charles Oliveira because a lot of people thought he shouldn't be even fighting so quickly after getting knocked out by Ilia Topuria and then taking on a tough striker like Fiziev, but with Gamrot, he's just going to look to wrestle him the entire time, so Oliveira does not have to worry about getting concussed again. Charles Oliveira is right number 4. Mateusz Gamrot is right number 8. A lot of people praising Gamrot for taking tough fights on short notice. He's coming off a victory over Ludovic Klein. Diego Lopes was asked if he would fight Charles Oliveira on short notice, and he would be down. I don't know if that's a stylistic matchup that Charles Oliveira would entertain, but Diego Lopes would entertain it. When asked, he would said, of course, why not? I mean, absolutely, I would, especially Charles is a legend, a true legend in Brazilian MMA. And I've always said, I'll never turn down a fight if the UFC thinks I'm the right guy to face him. And they call me up, definitely, yes, no problem at all. I wouldn't even think twice. Diego Lopes is coming off a fight of the year contender fight with Jean Silva, which he won. Him fighting Charles Oliveira and Jean Silva back-to-back would be quite an impressive feat. I don't know if the UFC is going to go with that option. I guess the only way is if they run out of ideas at 155 and got to dip into the 145, well, have Lopes jump up a weight class on short notice. It will be interesting. Again, Oliveira has a higher chance of getting concussed against a guy like Lopes, but maybe stylistically he prefers that matchup over Gamrot. We'll find out soon enough. They got to make a decision and put that main event together. Vicente Luque was supposed to be fighting Santiago Ponzinibbio at UFC Fight Night Rio on October 11th, but that fight is off. Santiago Ponzinibbio is apparently injured, so Luque needs a new opponent. So reportedly, Vicente Luque versus Joel Alvarez is in the works for that October 11th card. Ponzinibbio will be replaced by Joel Alvarez, and Joel Alvarez will move up to 170 for this fight. He has talked about moving up to welterweight and looks like he will be in 3 weeks' notice. Joel Alvarez has won 3 fights in a row, most recently knocking out Drakkar Klose in the first round. He was supposed to fight Benoit Saint-Denis in May in Montreal, but Alvarez pulled out of that fight due to injury. A lot of people backing Joel Alvarez in this fight with Vicente Luque. RIP Vicente Luque. People also saying it's going to be a rough night for Vicente Luque. Joel Alvarez is one of the purest finishers in the UFC. 22 wins, 22 stoppages, 17 wins, 5 subs. He has never won a fight by decision, so dangerous in the striking, dangerous on the ground. I guess you could say the same thing about Vicente Luque too. He's coming off a loss to Kevin Holland. Prior to that, he beat Temba Garimbo. Live by the Anaconda, die by the Anaconda. Phil Rowe is going to be taking on Seok Hoon Ko at the UFC Apex on November 1st. Phil Rowe's coming off a win via KO over Angelusa. Seok Hoon Ko is coming off a win in his UFC debut against Oban Elliott. He looked really good in that fight. He was a huge underdog against Elliott, but he kicked his ass. He dominated the fight, took him down, and beat the shit out of him. Some people thought that there should have been at least one 10-8 round in there. Nonetheless, dominant decision win. So a lot of people are high on Ko now. I think Ko has the highest potential out of the recent Korean prospects we've seen go to the UFC. Excited for this fight. Should be a good litmus test on where Ko is at. Easy KO win. He's going to ragdoll the shit out of Rowe. Let's keep this here so we can come back to this after the fight. Phil Rowe says, I'm not taking one single step back. I'll meet you in the middle, Ko. Phil Rowe's a guy who sort of settles into the fight. He might drop the first round, but then he starts picking up the pace in round 2 and 3. That's why most of his wins are round 2 or 3 stoppages. Against Ko, maybe it'll work, maybe not. It all depends on if he can start stopping the takedowns in round 2 and 3. Fight week, UFC Perth. Local time, Thursday is the open workouts and Friday press conference. Saturday weigh-ins and Sunday the event local time in Perth. Ulberg versus Reyes.
You know I bitch about this all the time. You're probably getting sick of hearing it. But like all these social outrage, like the trans, like the kids, these are all created by big business and private equity. All these, like, we didn't invent this shit. They did. Meanwhile, we're so focused on them trying to convert our kids that we're not noticing the big old fucking corporate dick they're giving you guys. It's real bad. Focus on the real enemy. Big business, private equity.
People been, they've been on the spectrum about things, about the suspension, indefinitely, all that crazy stuff. Please do not believe none of that stuff at all. Y'all want to see my nuts? Listen, I'm going to put it in my exclusive story on Instagram, and you can pay to see my balls. I don't know why people think that shit don't hurt. But what I am going to say is this. We have agreed to do a rematch, me and Zach. So now we're just waiting for the big man, Huncho, to let us know what's up. And we're going to go from there.
Yeah, I remember when that boy Bryce Mitchell said some shit about the Holocaust and Hitler and fishing and all that shit. And y'all tried to hang him. The MMA media did. And I know several people in my hometown that discredit and disown him, wiped him completely off. It was like, fuck that guy. But something changed, didn't it? Was it because Candace Owens started talking about it in mainstream media? Was it Tucker Carlson that woke you up to it? Nonetheless, happy you're awake to it. Some of us are taught at a young age. Some of us wake up through certain experiences. And some of us have to have the mainstream media tell us something's up. Nonetheless, I feel like my boy Bryce Mitchell deserves several apologies from several of you.
Dana White was at the Charlie Kirk Memorial on Monday with Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Dana will be at the Contender Series at the Apex on Tuesday. There's one women's fight on the card, Montenegro versus Chavez. Ronda Rousey hasn't fought since she got knocked out by Amanda Nunes on Holly Holm. She says she's regained her love of MMA again. The last 6 months have been an absolute blast. Feels like I have so much left to grow without the weight on my world on my shoulders. Nothing is holding me back. Some people want her to return on the White House card in June. If she wanted to return, she could fight a bantamweight that's not that good. I'm sure they could find someone like that. Jimmy Fallon thinks the UFC White House card renderings look ridiculous.
Hey, did you guys see this? Dana White just released the first renderings of the UFC fight being planned for next summer at the White House. Take a look at this. Wow. Well, good. I was afraid it would look ridiculous. UFC fight, but don't worry, if it rains, they're going to hold the event under Melania's hat. So we're going to be fine.